It's happening.
It's happening.
Dance Journey!
With Tracy in LA. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Dance Journey. Today we have Sophia Moritz.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm so excited to interview Sophia because we met in a super random way. Let's talk about that first.
We have a nice meet cute,
Yeah.
which is super fun.
And it's going to show how I actually kind of barely know her.
Yeah, which is, I feel like that's kind of cool for a podcast like this. We really don't know each other very well at all.
It's going to be new information for all of us. But basically, Sophia and I met in a parking lot, pretty much. Mm-hmm. We were going to see a show with ChoCoLA Ballet in, what town was that in? I don't remember.
Anaheim?
Kind of south.
Yeah.
And
it was great.
Yeah, basically we parked in this big parking lot and we had to wait at this little parking pay station. It was kind of a wait in that line.
Yeah, we were confused about parking.
And then
I don't know.
We
what's
were
happening.
confused about using the machine.
Yep.
And fortunately, she was going in front of me because I also didn't know how to use it. And she was taking a while. I was kind of trying to help her. We were trying to figure it out together.
It was rough. I was trying to find a way not to have to pay. And then I was like, I think we just have to pay. And it's fine. But, whatever.
And so we were at that parking pay station for a while. And then somehow we just ended up talking a bunch.
Yeah. And then we were like, I love your energy.
Like, we should be friends.
Yeah.
Like,
it worked.
She just had such a bubbly, fun personality. And we talked for maybe like 20 minutes. Because I ended up telling you about the podcast.
Yeah.
And you were kind of telling me a little bit of stuff that you do. And it was just awesome. It's awesome to meet, like, dancers in parking lots because you already have like
specifically parking lots actually.
I mean, I think I've actually met other dancers in parking lots too, or street parking or wherever we're parked.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
A
little trend in your life.
Yeah. Definitely in the back of my head, I was like, I'm probably gonna have this girl on my podcast at some point.
No, it was really nice, and we ended up like taking classes at similar places, but have never like fully crossed paths, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we have and we just don't know. But
possibly.
Took class at a lot of the same places, and we just had a really nice conversation. And I thought this was really great what you're doing. Like, there needs to be more podcasts about dance stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is
for
great.
Sure. Yeah. So then, so we follow each other on Instagram. I've learned like a little bit more about her since then, but not a ton and not the details really. So, but first we're going to talk about the class we just took, which was Chasen Greenwood's beginning, I think it's called Beginning Ballet 2 now or something like that. They keep changing the name, but it's Saturday morning, awesome. 9 a.m. This was not Sophia's first time at Westside, but it was her first time with Chasen.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
Which was great. And I was telling Tracy before this, what's super cool about the podcast is I listened to Chasen's podcast a couple weeks ago. So I got to hear a bit about his background, his relationship to dance, which was really cool. So it was fun to now take his class.
Yeah.
I really loved it. It was it was a little tough for a beginner, which I don't mind. I was like, that was nice because he did a really nice job of, it's there's a lot of movement in his class, which is really great because I think sometimes if you've danced for a bit of time, a beginner class can feel, it's nice to go back to the basics, but it can feel a little stagnant. Yeah. So I feel like he does a really nice job of you're still dancing in the class, right? But it's beginner, so it was fun. Yeah,
he definitely has a fast pace. Here we go with the sun. I told you this was gonna happen.
It's happening.
But yeah, he definitely has a faster pace. He keeps up the.
He does.
You're definitely sweating by the second.
Which is awesome. It's awesome. And he's a beautiful dancer. I love the way he demonstrates in class as well. And he articulates the quality really, really nicely in his combination. So he's beautiful.
And I was glad towards the end when we were going in different groups and I was actually able to watch Sophia because she's a beautiful dancer.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And that was her first time learning some of these kind of trickier combos for a beginner class. And I was like, okay, she's got it though.
Jason's getting in it. Let's go. I was not prepared for this, but it's good. It's always good. Yeah.
No, it was really lovely to watch you. I'm
too.
It's so fun to watch everybody, but such
and
a
be
good
in
class.
the physical space because I've also seen some of your videos of you dancing, and there's something nice about being at bar with someone and getting to move in the studio together. So I was like, it was a pleasure dancing.
It was fun being at bar with you. Yeah, Sophia has just such a joyful energy, so it's fun to be around. I love the bar.
It's kind of social, you kind of wink at people. You're like, I don't know what's happening. There's camaraderie that's built in the bar.
I love the bar. It, when we go to Center, I'm like, okay. I like Center, but I don't know what it is. I just love the bar. I love doing everything at the bar.
Yeah, they're all good for different reasons. Yeah. They got their pros and cons. Yeah, but for sure. Yeah, it was lovely taking bar with you. Yeah. And you're beautiful as well.
Oh,
so
thank you.
It was fun.
Yeah. So Sophia, tell me, I know a little bit, but tell me a little about your current dance life. What are you doing with dance these days?
Kind of a lot with dance these days, which has been really nice because I feel like post college, I feel like a lot of people do this where they'll dance in college and then you get out into the real world and you're like, you know, where does dance fit in my life now? Like, I gotta get a job and be an adult, but, you know, you're just figuring.
Did you study dance in college or something else?
Yeah, so I double majored in dance and neuroscience, which was super fun, and loved both of them, and still in some ways I'm trying to find a way to, like, blend the two. But yeah, I ended up going and doing some different work, more like in the psychology realm, and then got my master's in psych, but I studied a lot of, like, the brain and dance, and like how dance helps your brain, how it can be really beneficial for people who have certain neurological trauma. That kind of stuff is like what I really think is super cool. So yeah, that kind of like led me into, I now work at Kaufman, so the USC School of Dance, which is super fun. So I started that job earlier this year, and that's just been so wonderful because I'm just like around dance stuff all the time.
So wait, what do you do exactly there?
I'm their curriculum coordinator. So it's like it's honestly a hodgepodge of different things, but I feel like that's really nice because I get to work like with great staff, the faculty. Like I have a lot of just like great people who I work with. My supervisor's wonderful. I work with another assistant dean at the school very closely. So a lot of it's just like admin work, scheduling, and that kind of stuff. But definitely my favorite part is I work with the curriculum committee. So I'm like in these conversations that they're having about where they see the school growing curricularly, and it's super fun. Like what classes are still relevant, what forms are relevant to teach. You know,
it's all dance. It's all within the dance.
All dance, yeah. And
the dance classes.
Yeah, at our school we have like a BFA program that's pretty set in stone. So a lot of our conversations revolve around that, but we also have like, you know, a minor program as well too. So we have a lot of dance minors, and how do we like, you know, how do we make that education experience for each different side? It's fun. It's really cool.
That's
like,
really cool.
It's been really nice, and the faculty are amazing, and like just hearing what they have to say about dance, like I just am a nerd about it. So I'm like, I feel like this is such a great job because I'm listening in on just like really interesting conversations about dance research and like the physical practice of dance, and how do you get someone like technically at a certain point, like what types of dance are good for each dancer to train in, like. So yeah, a lot of really like these big questions about dance education.
I had no idea that's what you did.
Yeah, which is super fun.
Do you take any of the dance classes?
I do.
Can you?
That is the best part of
amazing.
it. And I love all the faculty, and it's great because I feel like once I was like, oh yeah, I dance, they're all like, oh my god, you can come take my class whenever, and the studios there are beautiful. So it's definitely a perk.
That's so cool.
It's a perk as a dancer to be there because I'm like I take class with like some of the best faculty in the world. And, they're lovely, and it's also just nice being in like a school setting and with younger students who are so talented. Like our dancers are just amazing, and so it's fun to be in that area and like world of creativity, and get to take dance. Like sometimes if I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just take a dance class in the middle of my workday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you just do it?
Yeah, which is as long as I'm not too busy. Which sometimes I'm like, sometimes things come up and you can't take class, but it's nice to just be like, you know, I'm gonna take an hour and a half and just like move a little bit, and then I'll finish my work.
Yeah,
in
you're
the
like
office.
It's research anyways.
I mean,
literally,
my boss says that as a joke. She's like, you know, you're studying the curriculum. You know, it's fine. Go take class.
That's
I was like, okay,
amazing.
Yeah. So
that's so cool.
It's been really nice, and definitely like for a while, I think a lot of people struggle when they're deciding like their next steps, right? I didn't know how much dance would end up being in my like occupational life. I think I was always gonna dance like creatively or just for myself. But so it's cool now that I'm like, oh yeah, it's like my day-to-day job is like talking about dance stuff, which we love. It's awesome. So
what were you doing right before that?
I was still working in higher ed, so I got my master's at Pepperdine, and then had just like worked as a GA there, and worked with a really great team, and I kind of just stayed on because I was trying to figure out like what my next steps after my master's was. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Pepperdine is gorgeous.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I wasn't on the Malibu campus, sadly.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
But I did get to go and do stuff there, and it was great. I had a really great experience there and met and worked with a lot of awesome people, so that was really fun. But then I just hit a point where I was like, this kind of opportunity arose, and actually, what's cute is one of the assistant deans at Kaufman, Jackie Kopsak, she used to teach me ballet when I was younger. So she's been there from the start and is like really involved with the school itself. So it was nice. And I reached out to her and I was like, I'm kind of interested. And she's like, I think this would be great. Like,
you saw the opening for the position.
Yeah, and I was like, this kind of sounds interesting. And I was like, maybe I'd be a good fit. And yeah, it's worked out really well.
How many months have you been there?
Since January, so almost a year.
Wow!
Crazy.
Congratulations!
I appreciate
Good to see
it.
you have the joy about it still. So that's a good sign.
I know. I was like, it's definitely stressful at times, but I also just think it's nice to. It's still a really great place to be able to work, and I feel very blessed to be, in the world of dance and like getting these awesome perks as a dancer, which is super fun and. Yeah, just keeping the art alive, showing that dance can be in an academic space and deserves to be there. So
yeah, I love
super
that.
Fun. So.
That's so cool. So you do that Monday through Friday.
Yep, Monday through Friday.
And then what are you doing outside of that?
Yeah, so I'm kind of involved in like at this point 2 bigger dance projects. So one of them is Little Women Ballet, which is super fun.
I definitely want to talk to you about that. I'm so excited that you're doing that.
It's so much fun. Yeah, this like kind of just happened. A close friend of mine, Emma, is the director of it, and she was just kind of like, it first started off as like, I'm really interested in like creating a full-length version of Little Woman, like a ballet version. I was like, that sounds awesome, super cool. And she's like, would you want to be in like the promotional video for it? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And my sister's involved with it too, which is super fun because we play sisters in it.
She's a dancer too.
She is a dancer too, which is awesome. So it's been nice to like get to dance with my sister again as well. And Emma and I grew up dancing at the same studio, and so that's been really nice. Just I don't know, getting to dance with her again and like see her in this role as a director, and it's been great. And so it kind of just started as this video and now has like completely grown into
Wait, when did it start? When did you start this?
2023.
Okay.
I think it was 2023.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm wrong.
But
I think that's right. But I think 2023, and it was just a video, and then she basically had this opportunity to work with Heritage Square Museum in like Highland Park area.
Okay.
Which are like these old Victorian homes. And they were like, yeah, you should come and use the space. And she asked them, and she was like, this could be a really cool idea for an immersive show to like have the dancers in these old homes that are period specific and like. And so then she just kind of kept rolling with that. And then she's like, do you want to be on board? And I was like, I would love to be on board. Like,
oh my gosh.
I love ballet. And I like did it growing up, but it's definitely not like my strong suit, I would say, as a dancer. But it's really nice because Emma's just created this like really beautiful safe space for ballet, and it's just a very wholesome production.
Yeah.
And I think kind of a unique experience because, you get to see the story of Little Woman, but there's obviously the ballet element of it, but we also have like narrators that take like the groups through houses.
I was wondering. So you've been obviously doing this now, the performances in the houses.
Yep.
I really want to hear. Well, first of all, are you Jo?
I am Jo.
Okay, I was trying to
fun.
figure it out because actually I wasn't sure which sister you were.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like stalking your Instagram, or I was stalking the Little Women Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think she's Jo. That's
Jo.
so cool.
It's super fun.
You seem like a Jo.
She's
your personality.
Thank you. I feel like I resonate with Jo a lot, and it's such a fun part. It's just like a really fun part to play. Like, she's just a beast. So
I have loved Little Women since I was young. I've watched, I think, every single movie version since the beginning, like old black and white.
It's so good.
I've read the book. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
And of course, like the newest version is cool too. Like, I was like, I've never seen a ballet version or an immersive ballet. So tell us about. What does that look like in an immersive show? How does it work?
It's unique, but it's also so much fun. So like the nice thing of this project that like is very new for me is, I think in dance you get used to performing on a stage, so there's a bit of a barrier between you and the audience. And in a show like this, like you're sometimes like this far away. I've almost hit people, which not proud to say, but like you're just so close to them.
Yeah.
So there's the acting component of it where you do have to act and be like fully in it with your partner or whatever part you're portraying in that moment, but you like can't overdo it either because then it's just like, I don't know, it's so intimate.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool experience and kind of nice and refreshing to just like move for people where it's just like a group of 10 or 12, like it's just smaller groups at a time, and it's unique, but
so
it's really fun.
It's a group. The audience is like 10 or 12.
Yeah,
and they're kind of like moving from room to room.
They like they like move from the different houses essentially.
Okay.
So there's like the narrators play different parts from Little Woman as well too. So they each have their own narration that like corresponds with their character. So like Aunt March is one of the narrators, and so she will take you into the she'll take the group into the house and she's like, oh my gosh, there's like Amy painting over there, yada yada,
so cool.
and kind of give them a setup because one, not everyone knows the story, and also just like it is kind of a different experience where they're not taking you through like start to finish of Little Women. It's like vignettes from different parts of the novel, essentially. So yeah, it's fun, and we're just like dancing in these houses, which is very, interesting. There's something goes wrong every time, but that keeps it exciting. Usually a trip, or there's rugs or furniture, and
not
like
really on a
chandeliers.
Floor.
No, you're not. Like, it's funny.
Are the narrators dancers, or are they more like they're just like actors?
More actors, but some of them dance as well too.
They don't dance in it.
They're not necessarily. They're in we have like a big finale at the end where everyone, which is super cool, everyone meets in like the church at Heritage Square, and that's kind of where the cast fully comes together, and we do like a big finale piece, and sometimes the narrators will dance with us in it, which is cute. And that's fun too, because in the church there's like little like drinks and refreshments, and it kind of feels like you're at like a little party, and she tries to make it like you're a guest,
so the audience can drink it and eat.
They can drink and eat, and it's usually like festive. It's like holiday specific, so a lot of like pumpkin-y fall stuff.
It looks like that when you're watching the videos.
So she does such a good job. Yeah, she definitely makes it like specific to the season. So like May is usually like Mother's Day, spring, and it's like very cute, and then fall is like the autumn festival, and then we have like the Christmas show, which is super cute.
Okay, yeah, I saw that you're doing one show or two performances at an actual theater.
Yes, so
what's the difference? How does that work? Is that the full story, or is it
For the most part, this is so we've only been doing all of last year. We only performed this as like an immersive ballet, essentially. So now this is our first time like doing it on a real stage, and we're like, oh my god, we get to dance on a real stage. This is crazy.
Wow.
But we're excited about it. It's like it's different. Like a lot of the choreography is the same, but it's I think the cast is really excited to try something new with what we've been doing. So yeah, this one's a little bit more like taking you through the story of Little Women.
And is it still going to have the narrators, or
no narrators? This one will be more of a like traditional ballet.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Because I think I'm trying to go to that.
You should totally come. It's very wholesome and very cute. I'd love to hear.
I just love Little Women, and I imagine that your friend that's doing it just loved Little Women.
She loves Little Women, and I think her big mission is just like one more stories about women in ballet, and I think I just think a lot of people love the story of Little Women, and it's encouraging, and like I don't know, it's a great story to be in a ballet. I don't know, and I think she does a really great job kind of creating just like a nice diverse cast of different ages, different like levels of ballet, and it's super fun. Her choreography's gorgeous, and a lot of us are like really good friends and actually really like love each other. Like it feels it does feel like a family. Like my sister's literally in the cast, and so we just like rehearsals are really nice. It's a lot of people who just like love dance and like really have a fun time just portraying this story that's like I don't know, like a family classic a little. I don't know. So it's been
that's
nice.
So cool.
Let us know if you ever want to get involved.
No, I've been wanting.
We're like it's growing, which is nice, and I think she has plans to like. It started as just one cast, and now we've really grown into multiple casts, which is really fun because you get to see other people play the roles, and like I don't know, it's just a nice energy and more people. So she's always trying to grow the troupe.
That's
if
so
you ever
cool.
want to get on board, let us know. They're fun.
The Instagram, is it like Little Women Ballet or something like that?
I think it's Little Women Ballet.
Okay.
I should know.
Yeah.
Just if you look up Little Women Ballet on Instagram,
it will
be found. And she does a great job with the Instagram too.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a great account, and you can kind of learn more about it. So if you're interested in that, which I know a lot of people love Little Women, love ballet.
If you're just into the aesthetic, like get after it.
Out. Are you still doing the immersive ones right now, or is that like...
We are, The weekend of November, the weekend before Thanksgiving, we're doing one more show at Heritage Square, which is kind of like the Christmassy winter show.
Okay.
And then we have the full length then in December.
Okay.
So I have a few more this year. Come check it
That's
out.
so cool. No, I definitely...
It'd be fun to see you
I've been looking at the tickets for the December one, but I also
the theater's really cool too, and what's nice is the Wilshire Bell where we're dancing is an all women's run theater, and they do a lot to promote like just women and the amazing work that they're doing, and so a lot of nice like connections between what they're trying to do with their art, you know. Yeah, women supporting women. Let's go.
Oh, like, so cool. Yeah,
women,
I love it.
Women strength. Yes, love.
Okay, so what else? I know you're doing other stuff too. So what else are you doing?
So there's that, and then like my other little dance project that I'm a part of is a group called ChoCoLA. So it stands for Choreographer Collection Los Angeles, and that I started with a couple other friends, Sophia, Greg, and Jacob. People can always learn more about them later, but...
there's another Sophia.
Yeah, another Sophia, which we always have fun with, like Sophia Squared. And so Sophia and I went to college together at Skidmore, and we danced together, and we just like really got along super well. I was a freshman, and she was... I was a senior. She was a freshman, and we just like had a lot in common. Our school's like very small in upstate New York, and so I like went to talk to her on like the first day of ballet, and I was like, "Hey, like, where are you from?" She's like, "LA." I was like, "Oh my God, me too." Like, where? And she's like, "Pasadena," and I was like, "Oh, I'm right from Pasadena. Where'd you go to school?"
Crazy.
Like, we like went to school like 2 blocks away from each other.
Oh, weird.
And went to like basically the two ballet schools in Pasadena, like the 2 big ones, and she was just at the other one. So I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And we like knew similar people, and so we just like kind of hit it off. And it was nice because I think after the hiatus of COVID, a lot of dancers were just like stagnant in what they were doing, right? We were just like, and Sophia was just like, I feel like I want to just like do something more with dance. Like, I don't know. And she's a beautiful choreographer, and I think for her, she's just like, she had all this great creative energy, and she's like, let's just like start a little collective and like give people the opportunity to share their work. And I was like, yeah, this is great. So she kind of got our group together because we were just playing. I feel like Greg, Jacob, Sophia, and I were kind of just like playing with movement, like just like dance in general. And then Sophia was like, let's kind of just make this a thing. So we started doing these annual showcases where people can apply to just submit their work as a choreographer, and we just kind of give them like a space to do it, marketing for them, like a lighting designer, performances, and so we started that in 2023 as well too. And
in LA, you didn't do it in New York.
Yeah, okay. No, not right now. But Sophia and I just happened to meet in school, and then she came back to LA after she graduated from.
Okay, no, I was gonna say, so you obviously graduated before her.
Yeah, and then I was just chilling out here, to be honest. You know,
you're just chilling, waiting for your choreography
just waiting for all.
Yeah,
exactly. Just waiting for Sophia to come back and find me my other Sophia. So, and again, like COVID hit, just things happened, and it just, you know. She's a beautiful choreographer, so it's nice, like, she gets to put her work in the show as well, too. We also just, like, felt like LA kind of needed a space where, I don't know, just creatives could meet. It was, like, emerging artists had a platform to kind of share their work, and then, just all different types of choreographers coming together. I think one thing we really tried to implement in these festivals is we always have a workshop kind of at the midway point where all the choreographers come together and they kind of show, like, this is what my piece is looking like, this is what I have questions on, or like I'm stuck on the costumes, or I'm stuck on this like last 8 count, and like, or like sometimes they just come in and they're like, what do you feel from this? Like, and it's just like a space for the choreographers to just like talk about their work.
Oh, cool.
And I feel like sometimes in festivals it's like you just go and you show your work and you leave, but it's like nice to meet the other choreographers and like build rapport and like know what they're thinking behind their piece. And I just feel like it's nice because it adds to the camaraderie of the experience.
It's more of a community.
Yeah, and it allows people to network and just meet other choreographers. We all just like, the 4 of us all just like really love dance and love seeing different types of dance. So this has been really cool because we just get to meet a lot of different choreographers all doing different types of work. And we usually take like different types of genres of dance in each show, like some modern, some ballet, hip-hop, just like a blend of stuff. So it's cool to see like what people are creating.
Now, you're a choreographer, aren't you?
A little bit. I wouldn't classify myself as I haven't done it yet for ChoCoLA.
Okay.
But I have an itch. And I think there's something nice. I think any dancer, it's nice to push yourself to choreograph every now and then. I've done pieces in college and stuff like that, but I haven't really done too much yet. I just love helping support.
Okay.
I love supporting choreographers.
I love that. Yeah. Because when you first told me about the Oh my gosh.
ChoCoLA. That's what we say.
The choreographer.
It's a lot of words that doesn't need to. We don't need to.
When you first told me about it, I just assumed, oh yeah, she's a choreographer because she's part of this choreographer like guild or something.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, that's essentially what it is. Yeah.
But I love that you're just like, I just love supporting it.
I love
and then you're also like
yeah.
working at this school where you're like supporting the program, and I love your energy for support. Like you're such a beautiful dancer yourself, and probably a choreographer as well at some point coming out. But then,
to be TBD.
Yeah,
I've been having an itch, and I'm like, what's happening? Wow, weird.
But I love the energy of just wanting to support, because I think we just need more of that.
We do.
Not that everyone necessarily needs to be that exact role, but just like in general, just a general energy of supporting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just happy to support these people to see where they can go.
Yeah, give them a platform, right? And it was super nice too, because I'm in this space at Kaufman right now, meeting a lot of other dancers, and it was so fun because in our ChoCoLA show, one of our faculty members like was a choreographer in the show, which is super cool, and like there's just been overlap in all these worlds, and it's been super fun, and I'm like, oh my god, it's nice, like people just coming together and just like sharing their work, and like it's nice. So we've done three festivals essentially. Okay. 2 of them have just been like open-ended, so people just submit anything they want to submit, and then we had one show that was a little bit more thematic, so that was like inner voyages and people just talking about some kind of inner conflict or something that they've dealt with in their life, whatever that may be. Pretty open-ended, but that was also super cool to have like a themed one as well. So I think that's our goal, is just having one every year that's just like an open-ended festival, and then one with some kind of something, and whatever that is. Super open-ended.
No, I love
just kind of change the different prompt for what work you're creating.
So. And the choreographers, I assume they find their own dancers and bring their whole piece like that.
Yeah, the goal is we would love for this to grow in the sense of like offering studio space to choreographers. Like maybe we did hold auditions for dancers because some choreographers mentioned that they needed some. A lot of the time we've noticed people come in with their own dancers, which is totally great. So it just depends on what they need. But ideally, I mean, we just started, and we would love to like just have more resources to be able to actually support choreographers, pay them, that kind of stuff is like the future of it. Again, free studio space, maybe like opportunities to different places to rent costumes. I don't know, whatever it is. But right now we're like, figuring it out. So, but it's been really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, nice way to meet people. Another opportunity to just get to perform. And I think just a lot of people have been like, thanks for just like having another place for us to do work, and we're like, and just show their dance. So it's been nice.
That's so cool. Okay, I knew those were the things I kind of knew a little bit that you were doing. Is there anything else you're doing with dance?
That's pretty much it.
Well, what about like, do you also take do you take dance classes besides the ones you're taking during the day?
Sometimes it switches off all the time. To be frank, I'm not very consistent in my training right now, I'll be honest, but it is kind of fun because I feel like I have a lot of different classes available to me, which is super cool. So like, I just love taking different things. I'm also part of like a little Bollywood dance troupe, which is super fun too. Cool. So like, just like Bollywood, some ballet, some modern. Modern's probably like one of my favorite styles to dance.
I know. So you were telling me, so initially we were going to try to take this modern class together. Where is that class at again?
It's super fun. It's at the Arc in Pasadena. It's with John Pennington, and it's just like a gem of a class, and we'll still go together. But it's like $10. It's like super, it's just traditional. He's a wonderful teacher. Like, you just got the one drum in class, and it's just like so nice. And the musicians are always great, whoever come. And it's like just a nice solid modern class if you're into that. So I just
awesome.
I try to take a couple classes a week, but it varies, and because a lot of the time too, it's like I'm in rehearsals for other things. Like right now it's a lot more Little Women focused, but it's nice because in ChoCoLA too, sometimes I'll be a dancer in some of the pieces.
Cool.
Usually I get to dance in Sophia's works, which I love.
Because
that's great. I'm obsessed with her choreography.
Oh my gosh, I want to see.
Fun.
Do you have any of her stuff posted?
I do. Some of I'm like tagged in things, and I can show you her. She's just great. And then her and Greg, one of the other co-founders, he they've done some pieces together that have been really, really gorgeous as well. So, selfishly, I'm like, if I'm not going to choreograph, I'm like, if you want to use me for a dancer, I'd love to be in your piece.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been nice to getting to dance, and also, like, it's fun, too, because I have a lot of friends that are like, I want to perform again, like, I want to choreograph, I want to do all these things, and so it's, like, nice to just, have the opportunity available to some people who are interested in getting back into it to some degree, so, or, like, just wants to do a different show, so, yeah.
I love all of that. That's
it's
so
pretty
great.
fun. Yeah, so if you like to choreograph, let us know.
That's my goal,
Yes,
but I'm at the beginning stages of that.
That's fun though. That's okay.
I'll let you know.
Let us know.
Once I'm ready.
Yeah, we have this like workshop series called New Year in Motion, where we do just like a series of workshops in January. Some like some that like kind of revolve around like working on your choreography skills, that kind of stuff, and then some of it's just other random like classes we offer. So
that's cool.
Always look out if you ever want to like literally workshop ideas where we have a space where people can come in and just kind of share movement, and then people give feedback. And we try to have it just be like a nice space to share if you're like interested in sharing.
So check out all this stuff. This is so cool.
Check it out. Come say hi to us.
Of good resources.
Come dance. Come dance and wiggle with us. It'll be fun.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Sophia, that sounds like a great life. I love it.
It's kind of nice right now. Like I realized I was like, man, I'm really like it's a one-trick pony right now. Like all it is dance, but it's really nice. Like I just I think a lot of people who are in it like they love the art, and there's so much there, and so it's nice to have my life kind of be centered around it. I love the art, and so I feel like very lucky to be able I still have a lot of other interests, but I just feel like dance in itself is very interdisciplinary in nature, which is super cool. So just using dance to enhance other like areas that you're interested in life is great. So
what are your other interests?
The neuro stuff is still super interesting to me. Like all the kind of dance movement therapy stuff that's happening, I think is super cool. And maybe at one point I'd like to like dip my toes in that a little bit more, just because it's really cool to see, how movement is therapeutic for people and the different types of movement you can use to help people with whatever it is they're dealing with. Again, if it's like a physical trauma to some sort or like PTSD, and dance has been like pretty wonderful as well too. Dementia, all these things of like using movement in a way to help support some of your like, I don't know, unfortunately certain things you're dealing with in life.
Is your interest in that area, is it more leaning more towards like being a dance movement therapist, or is it more like I want to do more research and maybe write?
Ooh, good question.
I don't know what people write, but like
I do hate writing, sadly.
Oh, okay.
But that is kind of
like,
cool.
Not that one.
I wish I could just like I love researching this stuff. Like
that's what it seemed like. You seemed like you like the research.
I feel like I just like learning about it.
Okay.
It would be cool to also do the therapeutic work as well too, but I just find this stuff like really, really interesting. I wish I could write about it, but I'll probably just read about it.
What you're gonna. I know. Well, usually, if you like research, you then like write something.
Right.
But I wonder what you could do, since you don't love writing.
I know, it's
you
okay.
could do a podcast about.
Honestly, no. There's so much cool stuff.
You seem to like talking.
Talking is much more fun than writing. Writing, it's like you get there and I'm like, I don't know. Even sometimes when I'm speaking, I think too much about it, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I can't.
I sort of feel like you could write, though. Because usually people that like to talk,
they're like,
just like on
you're
paper.
spewing, I don't
know.
True.
Maybe at some point you should just
I have to get more knowledgeable about it, I guess. Be more comfortable. But I just think that area of, like, dance and the brain is, like, super interesting.
Well, I just think if you come across some really cool thing you learn, it would be very cool to, like, write a little bit about it, even if it was just in an informal way, like a blog or something, to be like, because I'm sure lots of people would be interested to hear what you're learning, but maybe they don't care as much about like spending the time to research. But if there's cool epiphanies you're coming across,
crazy things,
of course dancers would want to know and learn about it, and people that don't do dance that might be like, oh, maybe I should try that.
I just always tell people, I'm like, dance is just so good for you. It's so good for your mood. It's so good for your body. It's so good for like social connection. There's so much with dance, and there's so much to do with dance. And so I think, we're in a world where I feel like we talk a lot about like, taking care of your body, whatever it is, like trying to be in good health, right? And dance can support that. And so I think it's really cool to see like the science that does back it up too, and being like, this is what's physically changing in your body when you dance. And like it's helping you, and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
It's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah, that's my other like, it's still dance kind of related.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of still just dance. I thought you were going to...
And fungi. I think fungi are super interesting.
Fungi.
Yeah, different types of mushrooms. It's my other like nerdy, like, because they're amazing.
Wow. Okay, I was surprised that you said that.
Yeah, that's kind of but they're pretty amazing. Like mushrooms and different fungi are like, there's more species of fungi on Earth than there are plants, which is pretty crazy. I won't nerd out about it too much,
okay, give us like one favorite thing about that. Besides what you just said, that there's many.
More.
I guess that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, like, just look up cordyceps. Like, it's crazy. Wow. But they basically, just the way that they communicate with each other, and essentially, like, our world is supported from these different organisms because they help, like, get resources to different plants and to each other. And, like, they're just, like, underneath all of us. Like, they're just around. And they decompose things that maybe can be harmful. And,
Wow, I know nothing about this.
Go watch Fantastic Fungi. It's a pretty amazing, and also just some of the problems we're having in our like globally in terms of the environment, and it's interesting to hear them talk about ways that fungi can help support some of these increases in pollutants and decomposing plastics, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I'm like,
gosh, I had no idea about this.
This is another weird area.
Okay, no, I love that.
Me. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Literally, I couldn't get you to say anything that wasn't dance, and then when you finally did,
it
fungi. Was so different.
It's really different. Actually, a goal of mine is to create a piece about fungi. That's like what I really want to do. Which is,
I think I could be a fungi.
I think you should come be a fungi. It would be great.
For some reason I feel like I could dance that.
Yeah, I want it to be a little weird because I just think it's fun. And also like this idea of just different things connecting to one another and these small connections building into creating something sustainable and beautiful. So
that's really cool.
That's the goal.
Wow, that's so fascinating.
Read up on your fungi.
Okay.
Because they're pretty cool.
Very cool. Okay, so Sophia, let's go back to the beginning.
Yes.
It sounds like you grew up in LA.
Yeah, I did.
From what you're saying.
I did grow up in LA.
You grew up kind of towards Pasadena area.
I grew up in Arcadia, to be specific, for those who know. And and then I danced at Pasadena Civic Ballet, so that's where I did most of my training.
Since you were a little kid.
Yeah, since I was I started when I was young, got kicked out of my first ballet class.
Wait, why?
Chatting too much.
I also have gotten kicked out of class.
See, yeah.
Not dance class, because I didn't dance when I was little, but in school, I would talking too much and laughing too much.
That was me as
well.
Which
are both really good things.
I know. So, ballet can be a little, So I started back again later when I was a little bit more ready to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had some really great teachers that inspired me a lot at PCB, and I just kept at it. It never changed. I remember being 7, I think, and I was like, I just love this. It's just never gonna leave my life, and it hasn't. But yeah, I had a really great studio growing up, and then danced in high school as well too, both at PCB and at the high school that I went to, Westridge, which was super fun. And then
But was it all ballet, or were you doing other
mostly
styles?
ballet actually, which is crazy because then I found other things and I was like, this makes a lot more sense.
You're
like,
ballet isn't really my main thing, but it seems like it kind of was.
It was, and I love ballet, but I think there's just I just never felt 100% on my body. There's just certain things where I was like, I'm just a bit more muscular. Some things, the lines just are not lining. And so I think when I found modern in college, I was like, oh my God, there's still a lot of physical, physicality that goes into modern and a specific type of technique. But there were elements of it that I was like, okay, this just feels a lot more natural on my body. But I love ballet, and I think ballet is so beautiful. And I love dancing ballet, but it can be humbling.
Do you do modern in bare feet?
I like bare feet.
I
like socks too, but I also like bare feet.
Was that different? Because growing up in ballet, you always have shoes.
It was.
Did that feel weird at first?
It felt weird, and then I was like, I freaking love this.
Okay.
I was like, yes, get my feet just in
Did
it.
you? Okay. I wear shoes all the time when I'm dancing, so any kind of dance pretty much. So my question to you is, when you switched to bare feet, did you already have calluses even from wearing ballet shoes?
Kind of a little
just
bit.
Because you danced so much?
Yeah, my feet were just nasty.
Like went through it.
Yeah,
because I was like, okay, when
there.
I mean, I know modern isn't like super focused on tons of turns or anything, but like I'm sure there are turns.
There are, yeah. And your feet definitely do get a little like, this is really bad. Like my feet are just a little sweaty, so I think I never had too many problems. I liked dancing bare feet. A lot of it depends on the floor.
Okay.
Sometimes the floor is really sticky and then it's like really unenjoyable to dance barefoot. But if the floor supports it,
yeah,
I feel like it's really nice, especially because you're supposed to be kind of grounded and modern, and
right.
there are a lot of jumps and turns, but it's just different movement, right? Like your ballet shoes support, the certain movements and like types of steps you're doing in ballet,
right?
And similar to modern with bare feet, like I just loved it. It was super fun, and there are elements of ballet that I feel like are in modern, and they
for sure.
There's overlap, but there's something about just the modern class, the turned in feet, like the drums. There's just certain things where I'm like, okay, I kind of.
Yeah, when you said there's just a drum, I'm like, oh, that sounds like legit modern.
I love a drum. I'm like, yes, let's go.
I used to take, so in the pandemic, I took virtually through Broadway Dance Center.
Oh, fun. Okay.
A lot.
Super fun.
And there was a teacher there. I'm trying to remember exactly what she did, but it was during the warm-up. She would play a drum and have us do different stuff. And it was so fascinating to me because I had never done really anything.
Right.
I never danced to a drum before.
No, when you do modern for the first time, you're like, whoa. It's very, like, it feels like a ritual in a really nice way.
Yeah.
So, and I had a modern teacher in college who always used to say that. She's like, it's just, like, ritualistic, like, taking these classes. And I was like, it is. But it's really nice, so.
Yeah. Okay, so you found modern in college?
In college, yeah.
Wow.
I feel like I did a little contemporary. It's like, I feel like growing up when you're at a studio, you just do different styles. So we mostly did ballet, but, like, we did some other things. We did a little bit of hip hop and other stuff, but it was mostly ballet.
And did you just do like a lot of ballet performances through your studio?
Yeah, like PCB they had about 3 performances every year.
Okay.
And it was really fun. They had one as you got older, they called it Solo Fete, and this was really nice because basically you just performed a solo, which I think is important to be able to do.
Every person did a solo.
Yeah, at a certain age. I think it's like 8th grade. I'm trying to remember when it actually started. But yeah, everyone gets a solo. Usually it was ballet. And then, as you got older, you could kind of pick, what style you wanted to do that, gravitated more towards you as a dancer. And like, your senior year, you kind of get to pick like, I want to do contemporary or I want to do something else. But yeah, usually they would make you do ballet prior. And that was great because you got to train with one of the teachers we had and like learn a solo, learn how to perform it. And it was always just like, which solo are we going to get? It was like always it was fun. So that was one of their shows, and then they have like a June show at the end of the year, which was all different styles of dance, and that was really fun. So we just did different like numbers, and it was all ages of the studio, and everyone came together. And then in February they always did a really big ballet of some sort, and I feel like I was really lucky to be a part of those productions. They had really cool big ballets. They did like Alice in Wonderland, that was really great.
Cool.
We did Peter Pan my junior and senior year.
Are they doing
which was fun.
that these days?
Yeah, they still do. Every year they do a big February show. So they did 12 Dancing Princesses this last year, and then we did Little Mermaid the year before that. So they still do a big February ballet.
Can the public go to that?
Yes.
I want to go.
No, they're beautiful. They're really, really fun productions. The artistic directors of PCB are just like amazing, and like the costumes are great. They're just like really good stories, and it's fun. They always do it at usually San Gabriel.
In February.
Yeah, in February. So
usually, do you know what they're doing this next year?
Yes, I can't announce it officially because they always announce that Solo Fete, which is really cute. So that's when they'll like tell all the kids.
Cute.
So we're keeping it a surprise for them. But I think it'll be good. It'll be good. So come check out. See what
really
PC's
cool.
Yeah,
and I love watching kids do ballet,
it's
especially when it's like a really good studio.
It's so wholesome. It's just like they're just all their shows are so cute. So
those stories sound really fun.
They are fun.
I love hearing all these different creative ways of stories for ballet.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Some of the like typical, to be honest, I haven't seen that many classical ballets. Like,
good, that's fine, yeah. But now you're getting into it more.
I've seen a couple of them, and I've just been kind of like, I don't know. Like, I love the dancing. Like, the ballet is so good and the people are so good. But for sometimes the story doesn't grab me that much. It's just like, okay. So when I hear a little bit about these different kinds of stories, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Because I love ballet so much. But sometimes I feel like I don't love watching it as much as I should. I'm like, how come I don't love watching this more?
I know. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
But the story, I think it's like I'm craving like a different story sometimes.
Which is totally fine. And it can be used in so many, you can use ballet in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And so it's nice. Yeah, it's cool to be part of a production where you're also wearing these like kind of extra costumes, but they're like so much fun. And like the choreography is like more contemporary ballet because it also has to like, you know, associate with this role or this character, right? So it's a lot more fun like playing a part during ballet. I don't know.
I can't wait. I have
some really great.
Sure I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, you should. I had some really good embarrassing costumes growing up, and like I just loved looking back at them. I was like, those are so much fun. Like we were in Little Woman, or not Little Woman, LOL, in Little Mermaid when we were younger. Like my friends and I were all shrimp, so we had these like huge like shrimp heads, and like it was just so much fun. And you got to do like your weird little like shrimp dancey stuff.
My gosh.
And I was like, they're just like really fun. So
I feel like I can see where the fun guy idea is coming from. It's
it was
like,
all my it's a lot of growth and connection.
Like
and
God's been preparing you for what's to come later. Different kinds of interesting characters.
Let's go.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So modern and contemporary, and did you ever venture out to like hip hop or anything like that?
I took hip hop classes and performed a bit, but I would say not my strong suit, you know, but I love hip hop and it's very fun. So, but yeah, I just don't take it as much as I do my other, you know, nor do I think I'm probably that good at it, but it's so much fun. I love taking a hip hop class, but.
What about just like straight up jazz?
I've done jazz a little bit, also not that much straight up jazz either. But I love taking, I think it's so nice to just take different dance classes to take different dance classes. And also it's so great to be in those spaces and see someone who's like really good at that craft and that style of dance specifically. And you're like, that's freaking amazing. Like that's awesome. Like
I love that there's so many good studios here so you can go, and even if I'm the worst one, I can see people that are doing it really good and I'm like so inspired.
It's awesome.
For all the styles, because so many people here are just beautiful. So good at hip hop, so good at jazz, so good at whatever, you know, is their thing, and it's so fun to just be able to like just sign up for a class and you're like, wow, I get to watch a performance too.
Literally. No, literally it is. It's both, and you're like, oh my god, this is awesome to be.
It's very cool. Yeah, like we're very blessed. And you've been blessed your whole life growing up here. I didn't grow up here, but
where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Chicago area.
Oh, fun.
And not totally doing dance, just like here and there.
Because they have a cool dance scene too.
They do, but I just didn't. I grew up in the suburbs, and which also I'm sure has stuff as well, but I just didn't. I wasn't around anyone that did dance like a ton. So I was like, oh, the local community center has a 2-week jazz class. So I would like, that's fun. So I would do that once in a while, things like that.
That's awesome.
But I had no connection with this thing of people like going to dance studios every day or doing competitions or like really studying ballet. Like I had no concept of that until later on moving to LA and meeting people and being like, oh, this is a thing.
It's a complete culture.
Yeah, so many of my first roommates in LA were dancers before I even got into dance. So I learned about dance and learned about the studios just because I had so many roommates. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of like dance.
That's awesome.
And then going to my first studio like out here was a awakening of like, people are like really good at dance.
Yeah, they're in it here. I mean, I do think there is a professionalism of LA dance that's kind of intense.
Yeah,
sometimes
when you're just starting.
Yeah,
I was like,
I bet.
Oh no, my first class was called Jazz 1. I was like, Jazz 1.
Jazz 1.
That's me. I'm in the beginning. I was like, no, that class was so crazy and so hard, and people were so amazing. It felt like Jazz 100, but they had a basic jazz and then a beginner jazz and then a Jazz 1. So it was really more like Jazz 3.
Got it.
But they're just things I learned, but it was just funny. It never like got me down. It was just like, oh, I have to learn. Okay, I have to start with this class. Like you just learn as you go. You just
learn, and like, you know what? It's so hard because dance is very humbling at times. So humbling. And then you have to learn to have a good relationship with it because there's so much good that comes from it too.
Yeah.
But you also can easily get like swept up in some of the toxicity of it sometimes. So yeah. But
have you found yourself struggling with that in the past?
In the past, definitely. I feel like now, which is nice, is like I'm in a really great place where essentially all my dance projects I get to work with friends of mine. So I feel like it's nice because it's a safe space, and like we're in it because we just like love dance, and it's like, you know, we're not the greatest companies in the world, but like that doesn't mean we shouldn't be here. And I just feel like anyone who wants to dance should dance.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like, it's
absolutely
fine.
love
And the
that.
more art, the better. Keep creating what you want to create. So I feel like I've gotten to I have a better relationship with it too, where it's like, you can just do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like,
that's something I have a little problem with our culture. It's like, if you're not the absolute best at something, why are you doing
yeah,
it?
it's like,
it's not, I mean, that's just kind of the vibe you get with some of this stuff.
For
and
sure.
Some of the things that are out there. I think it's a very, like, American Idol mindset. Not to say I don't enjoy those things.
Love
I mean,
it,
they're
yeah.
fun. But it kind of gets this mindset going of, like, if I'm not the very best, I shouldn't be doing
Yeah.
it. And I love where you come at it, because it's like, no, like, if you love doing it, do it. You don't have to have the absolute best company in the world to be producing good art or something that people might like, or something that just you like and you like doing together with other people.
Literally, exactly. Like, it's like, if anything, you can just do it for yourself too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not harming anybody,
Yeah.
and it's fine. And if anything, I just think bringing more dance into the world makes the world a better place, personally. And it's also cool to hear, because you kind of found dance later in your life, and it's nice to meet people like that, because I do think sometimes when you've grown up doing dance, you just kind of hang out with the same dance people that you've grown up doing dance with your whole life. And it's also really great to meet people who, you know, found it later in life, or just grew up doing a completely different style than you. And it's just, it's nice. I feel like a lot of, like, the dance worlds are trying to work together more, which is nice, come together more, and also people are expanding what they're doing as a dancer too. So,
and I do think I'm saying that certain mindset bothers me, but I also see a lot of new things coming up, and I also see a lot of people trying to change that and trying to be more community oriented, and just there are a lot more programs and organizations now, and there's just a lot more being added, and classrooms being changed. Like, obviously I didn't grow up in it, so I don't, but I kind of know from what people tell me.
And now you're doing it. I see Tracy's hustling, taking those dance classes out there, and it's great. Like, and you're in the routine of it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and I see a difference, like, even from my own training of the past 5 or 6 years, like, I see a difference with some classes that were just, I see a difference in the way teachers are teaching. It's starting to be more community and more, like, kind than in the beginning. Was just sometimes, in the beginning I just thought, oh, if I want to become a really good dancer, I need to go to these classes where the teachers are, like, really strict and really, which, like, of course, yes, you want teachers that have high expectations and that push you, of course. But as I've taken so many more classes around the city, I'm realizing, oh, you can have a teacher with really high expectations that pushes you, who's still, like, really kind, really down to earth, really loving. They don't have to be, like, mean.
They really don't. And I think this is a good thing for the dance world to learn.
Yeah.
And it's sad, because I think a lot of people, like, it's learned behavior a bit. I think sometimes, like, dance teachers, it's like that's the way they were trained, and it's hard to break the cycle. But people are getting better at doing that, and learning that's, like, you can create technically amazing, beautiful dancers without having to crush them to get there. Like, you know, you can create a supportive environment. That's encouraging. It's good.
Do you have any, we're wrapping up soon here.
I know.
But, also, you just have one sibling?
Just one sibling,
and she does dance.
And she does dance,
Did your parents do dance?
Not really, no. My mom did Greek dancing. My mom's actually a pretty good dancer. And then my dad was just, like, a goofy dancer. He loved to dance, but not a dancer, I would say. So no. Yeah, my mom just was kind of like, we'll just put you in dance. And I was like, okay. And then, like, I just ended up loving it. And so it was just kind of by fate, honestly,
it's so cool
which is
how
really
stuff
nice.
like that happens.
It does, and it was nice because my sister, she had more of a back and forth relationship with dance, where she's like, I want to play soccer now, and so she did soccer, but she always ended up coming back to dance, and then she stuck with it. So my parents know, but it was very cool to see how much both of them ended up growing to really love the art, and they both
sure they love watching you.
They love it now, and now they're like, you know, they know things about different companies around the world, and my mom my mom loves Alvin Ailey, and she's
nice.
She's just like in the know now, and I'm like, this is cute. Good for you guys. Yeah.
And you and your sister have never lived anywhere else. You've
not
always
really
lived here.
Always here. I mean, I went to school.
You went to school in New York.
So that's but besides that, I've just stayed in LA.
Yeah,
LOL.
I mean,
I love it here.
I don't know why anyone would want to leave, honestly. But
it was fun. It was so great going to college somewhere else. I think that was the perfect time for me to like go live somewhere else, and where my college was like the best. It was super cute. So, but I ended up back here. I'm happy about it. It's good. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of my last question for you is, you're already kind of living these cool dreams, and I know you're just kind of wanting them to grow. Do you have any other like dance dreams that you know of that you're like, I really hope this one thing happens? Or is it more just like, I love what I'm doing right now and I hope it just keeps like growing?
Yeah, I think that is my mindset right now. That's a great question though. But yeah, I think at this point I just want to keep performing as much as I still can, and just working with different artists and helping people create their work, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's honestly a lot of just... Yeah, it's been nice even just seeing in this past year how things have shifted in each of these groups that I'm a part of, right? So, yeah, in ChoCoLA, I feel like a lot of it is just like meeting more people, seeing different types of diverse art being created, and that's really, really interesting. Maybe eventually creating a fungi piece in the future.
Oh my gosh.
We'll see if that actually happens. And then, like, Little Women, it's been cool to see it start from, like, Heritage Square to then, like, now we're doing it in a real theater, and it's a full-length ballet. So, yeah, I think it's just fun to keep playing with some of these other things that are happening.
I feel like so many creative things are just gonna shoot from
it's
all
nice.
Of this. Like, you might not have an exact dream, but I think it's just gonna happen. You're like, oh, this is really cool.
No, exactly. And I'm just like, it's nice because in my job too, I'm surrounded by so much art. Like the students are creating incredible work, the faculty are creating incredible work on the outside. The staff are doing cool things. Like, I'm just like, it's so cool to just be around like people making cool dance podcasts. Like like you're just like surrounded by a lot of creativity. And I think just with that, like, everyone's just making cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's super fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, I'm so inspired by you, Sophia.
I'm inspired by you. This is so fun. I was nervous before. But I was like, that flowed, which was good.
We were both I get nervous before the beginning of every single one of these. And then once it goes, I'm fine.
You were amazing. Yeah. Then created such a great space. Tracy was like, I have some cold water, granola bars. I was like, whoa. I was like, fancy.
My little car
it's
podcast
cute. It's
studio.
really cute. Yeah, you create a great ambiance.
Thank you. Well, thanks for taking time today to be on it.
Yes, this was super fun.
And taking class with me, and we're definitely going to have to try that. I'm going to have to try that modern class.
You're going to love it,
sure.
We'll do it.
I'm excited. So, you guys check out ChoCoLA and Little Women, and just check out Sophia in general, because I'm sure she's going to be doing more and more creative things as we go.
Say hi.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching or listening, and like and subscribe and follow and rate and review and all those things, and we will see you next time.
Bye.